Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Well, I've got some bad news really. I tried to record another video with Project Motor Racing, and the whole thing sort of shit itself again and froze up the computer and went back to desktop. So another freeze up and a crash to desktop. I tried everything. I turned down the opposition cars, the number of opposition cars, tried all sorts of things. And I want to say thanks to those of you who made comments and made suggestions and gave me ideas to try and help fix the problem. A big thank you to you guys. I appreciate your input. And I had a look at those things, but it just didn't seem to make any difference. And apparently after a lot of research on internet and YouTube, there are a lot of other people that have stability problems with it as well. I don't know. Personally, I don't think they should have gone with the Giants graphics engine. I think they should have gone with Unreal or something like that. I think they made the wrong choice as far as graphics engine. I don't know. I'm a layman in regards to programming, so I wouldn't know. But there are many people around the world having problems with stability. If it runs great on your machine and you're enjoying it, fantastic, guys. Well done, and have fun. That is great. But for me, I'm sorry, it's just not meant to be, so I will have to park it up. So the big question for me now, guys, is what is going to be my go-to racing simulator? I was hoping that was going to work out, but it didn't. So what are my options? Where do I go now? I want to have a career. I want to have motor racing. GT racing is my hobby. I want it to be my ongoing interest and hobby and career, if you like. Virtual career. So what platform am I going to use? So let's have a look at that on this video. If you enjoy casual sim racing or you like Porsche racing, hit that subscribe or give us a thumbs up or make a cheeky little comment and become part of the team. But right now it's time to drive, so let's head on down to the track. Well, maybe this has been a question that you've had to ask yourself too. Which racing sim am I going to use? Which one is going to be my go-to racing simulator? Sure, you can have quite a few installed and use all of them, but I'd rather have one favorite or one go-to racing sim that I become accustomed to, that I become really efficient and good at, and one that meets all my requirements and the needs, and it satisfies my my need to succeed in a motorsport, in a simulated motorsport. Rather than flip-flopping all over the place, yeah, I just want to have one place to go, one good simulator that I really enjoy, and I can go through the ranks and learn, advance my skills, win some races, win some championships, like a virtual career. So which one am I going to choose? We're lucky in the racing simulator world, really, because we do have quite a lot to choose from, and a lot of them are very good. We've got the original set of some nice die-cast cars there, eh? I like those. I need to get some of mine all cleaned up and out on display too. Maybe I'll put a shelf up behind me here so the camera you can see all my nice die-cast cars. And here we go. You can see the posters on the wall here. We've got assetto corsa, the original. We've got assetto corsa competizione, assetto corsa evo, assetto corsa rally. We've got automobilista 2, and there's just so many to choose from, plus all the other ones that like iRacing and the ones that you would drive online with your esports. I'm more a single player sort of person. Yeah, so there is plenty to choose from, really. So which I had to think about, what do I want to spend my time doing? Do I want to drive Formula 1 cars? Do I want to drive vintage, classic old cars? Do I want to drive GT3 cars? My real passion, my love is the Porsche, so I want to drive Porsche, and I really enjoy the GT series, the GT2, the GT3, the GT4. I really enjoy those cars. So it's got to be a simulator that specializes and has those cars and tracks and competitions. And most of them, the cars look absolutely stunning. The tracks are all beautiful, but they all have their own strong points and weaknesses as far as the game goes, as far as the options and the things available to you. But just look at this one. This one is Assetto Corsa Evo, and what I really loved about Evo, like you can see here, I've customized the car for my company colors, the white and the green and the black there, so I can name my team KVM Racing, and it's actually, the car has got my own colors on it. You can customize it, the car. Look at this, it's just gorgeous. So I do like that. I believe it's the original Assetto Corsa. I think you could color the cars. Assetto Corsa Competizione, you can color scheme your car, change the livery, change the colors as well. So that is fantastic. Automobilist 2, you cannot. You just choose a livery and away you go. So you cannot customize the cars. So they've all got good points and weak points. Good points and points that, you know, are a bit weak. So what do? Let's have a look at them. We are in Assetto Corsa Evo at the moment, so let's have a look at that while we're here, and let's see how many sort of boxes it actually ticks. The cars are gorgeous. The cars in a lot of these simulators that are out now and available are just gorgeous. It's very, very hard to separate them and say which cars look the best. They are all so beautifully replicated and rendered. This one in the KVM Racing colors just looks fantastic, so I'm really in love with this one. But let's have a look at the options. Let's have a look and see what you get for your money if I was to choose this as my game of choice. I'll turn my photo off here. Yeah, that looks a lot nicer, doesn't it? So we go to drive and we go to single player. What are our options? Race weekend. That's pretty much it, guys. There's no practice mode. There is no practice mode. There is no championship. There's nothing really. We've just got race weekend. That's it. So we can set up the practice. We can go to any track and practice. We pick a track and then we go in here and practice, and we go to that track and practice. So that's not really a problem. It's not an issue. We've got quick race if we just want to jump in and do a race, or we've got race weekend. So how do we set up a championship or a career mode? Well, we can actually do it. If you go back a couple of videos I made a few videos ago, I set up a system where you could create your own career mode in any game. If it doesn't have a career mode in the game, you can create your own career mode by setting up custom championships, which you can do. This one you cannot. So basically what you do is you choose 4 or 5 tracks that are in here that you like, get a notebook, write them down in the notebook, and do them one at a time as a race weekend. And as you travel through those 5 events, you keep track of your points, the other guy's points, your positions and your lap times. You keep a logbook of it all, and then over those races you add up your points and the other guy's points, the leaders, the people who are in the top 10, and yes, you work your way through those 5, creating your own career mode. And you'll have a log of each event and how well you've done, your times, your pole positions, and your race finishes and events. And I set up some pages where you can keep track of that, or you can do that in a notebook. So a bit more work, a bit more like real life, I guess, in that sense. You've got to keep track in a database and all the, you've got to keep track of everything yourself, your team. So a bit more work, but you can create a career mode for yourself that way. So that's all you've got in Evo, okay? This is Evo, that's it. I think they promised a free roam mode where you could drive around the countryside sightseeing. That doesn't really interest me. I can do that. There are heaps of other games out there where you can just drive around looking at things. In a racing game, I want to race. I want good tracks, I want good cars, I want good options, I want single player modes, I want career modes, I want practice modes, championships. Those are the things I want. I don't need to, maybe the arcade guys or the gamers, they like to just get in and drive around. Horizon does all that. There are other games that do that. Drive around looking at the scenery, racing around the streets, going over ramps. I'm more of a serious racing person. I like the racetracks. But here we go. Evo, very, very lean. Gives you nothing really. You've basically got a series of tracks, a series of cars, and you can set up your own quick race or race weekend. That is it. If you want any more than that, you need to do it yourself. But it can be done. So let's see how one of these Porsche drives on Donington Park. This Porsche here, painted up in the KVM Racing Team colours. See what it's like to drive, and then we'll go to another sim, like maybe we'll go to Automobilista 2 and Competizione, and we'll see what those Porsches are like to drive. So here we go. Race weekend. Let's just try driving this car, and we'll compare the Porsches in the different formats. See how they look, see how they drive. Okay, here we go. I'll turn my ugly dial off. We can drive, and we'll do a couple of laps, see how it feels, see how the car looks, see how the replay mode is. Well, they're all heading out at the same time. If you don't mind, guys, I would like to come in here. Okay. Guess they're all going out for a practice. The other thing I'm going to be looking at is smoothness. With all these cars up ahead of me, I should get a bit of an idea of how smooth the game is and how it runs. The tyres are cold. I've got to go very slow, take it easy. The cockpit of this car reminds me very much of the Porsches, of the GT cars in Competizione. The sounds also remind me a lot of Competizione. I don't know if it's the same people that make it, and maybe they just copy and pasted the sounds. I don't know, but getting a couple of very bad glitches there. So we'll see if that sorts itself out as I go around the circuit. Other different games of assetto corsa made by the same people, or a different group of developers under the same umbrella. If so, do they copy and paste the sounds for the cars? Okay, we'll do one more lap and then we'll hop over to Automobilista 2. It feels very, very smooth, and the steering is very fluid. Graphics are beautiful. I cannot complain about the graphics in any way, shape or form. The tracks look beautiful. Look at the real estate up on the hills in the distance there. Just amazing. Not driving very well here. I'm busy looking around and talking. but the car drives very smooth, very nice. The sound is good. Steering is fluid, very easy to control. I feel I've got good control of the car. If it starts to do anything wonky, I can correct it. Is it as good as Project Motor Racing? I think the short answer is yes. Certainly runs a lot better on my machine, that's for sure. Everything does. Frame rates are good, but see, I've got my mirror turned off. I've got no HUD displays. The reason I don't like having HUD displays on is it takes away the immersion. It's more, excuse me. If you have your HUD displays up, like track maps and all those kind of things, it takes away the immersion. It makes it look like an arcade game. And you have the little radars that show you where the cars are. That sort of makes it look more like an arcade game. So I take all those away so it has a real feeling of, more of a feeling of realism when you're in the car. And I'm always in the cockpit. There are no best line on the track painted. All those sort of beginner easy things are all turned off. It's just the basic cockpit. All the information that I need I can see in the cockpit here without all of those fancy HUD things turned on. And don't forget, all those fancy HUD things turned on, like mirrors and radars and track maps, all those things do affect your frame rate. They affect your frame rate having all those things turned on. So get rid of them all if you can. Learn to drive the car as a normal racing car, not with all those flashy help displays up on your screen. Okay, so let's have a look at the replay, see how the graphics go. That is a beautiful car, isn't it? Just gorgeous. So we'll have a look at this. I'll try some different views. Right, that looks gorgeous, that looks beautiful. Replay mode is great. It drives well, the car looks beautiful, the tracks looks great. It's very, very smooth, but I have had to turn a lot of the graphics down. I've had to turn a lot of the graphics down to get it this smooth, okay? I really have. But it does look gorgeous. So that is Assetto Corsa Evo. So let's go over to another one. Let's go over to let's go over to Automobilista 2 and we'll have a look at the Porsches and see what that's like. Have a look at the replay mode, have a look at the graphics, see how the car feels and drives, the frame rates, and we'll see how it goes, see how we go with that one. Okay, so here we are in Automobilista 2. I'll turn my ugly dial off again. And here we go. This is what we get for our money. Remember in Evo we had nothing really. We had race weekend and that was pretty much it. But here we go in Automobilista 2. We have a single race mode, a championship mode, we have multiplayer here, we have a time trial mode, and we have a test day. So if we want to go on the track and just practice, we can go into test day. Go into test day, we can pick a track, and there's a huge list of tracks. Huge list of tracks. Look at that. Just huge. And we've got different versions of the same track. 3 or 4 versions in some cases of the same track. Okay, single race. We can pick a track. You can pick the number of opponents, pick the number of cars, race settings, session settings, rules and penalties. We can set that. They're all open and free and ready to use, guys. Huge number of tracks there. The cars, just a huge abundance of cars. Just huge. Doesn't matter what car you like to drive, you will find it in here. Stock cars, all sorts. Super V8s for around Mount Panorama. All sorts of cars. Just about every car, racing car you can think of. Okay, so this is what we have in Automobilista 2. Admittedly, this one has been out for a long time. So it's had updates and more updates, and they've added to it and just made it better and better. The only thing that's missing in this one is the career mode. Now they say that the career mode is coming. This is good. I can't wait to see what that looks like. That would be good. And once you've got the career mode in there, this is actually quite a complete game, guys. A full, complete simulator. This is what I call a finished product. Once they drop in that career mode. Single race, multiplayer, championship, time trial, test day, career mode. It will be a complete product, and this is what the others should have been like when they came out. As much as I love the look of Assetto Corsa Evo, look at all the stuff that it doesn't have. Really, it really doesn't have. Okay, but the proof of the pudding is in how well. It's got a lot of cars here, but does it do it well? That's the question, guys. Just because there's a whole list of 200 cars, are they any good to drive? What do they look to drive, and what do they look like? This is the big question. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look for my favourite car, shall we? Here we go. We got a Porsche here. Let's pick this one. Here we go. A Porsche 911 GT3. You know I like driving the GTs, so this is the one I'm going to be really interested in. The way it looks, the way it feels, the way it drives on the track, the way the steering is. So let's have a look at the Porsche and Automobilista. Pick a track. What track did we have before? Have we got the same track here? Donington? Oh yeah, we got the same track here. So we can compare it. That is good. We'll pick that. We'll select that track. And which did I choose? Practice? Test day. Test day. Yep, that's what I wanted. Test day. Okay. So let's go back, find that Porsche again. Here it is. Test day. Okay, select vehicle, track. We want which one was it? Donington. There we go. That's it. Select track. Okay, so let's compare this with what we saw in Assetto Corsa Evo. Assetto Corsa Evo took quite a long time to load, I have to say. I was sitting here for ages. Lucky I got my glass of whiskey here. I'm not kidding either. Oh, it's not whiskey, guys. It's tea, okay? It's Chinese tea. Really. You believe me? Here we go. We are ready to go already. My gosh, we did not wait long at all. Very fast loading. And look at this cockpit. This cockpit is gorgeous. I haven't turned the mirror off. I haven't turned the graphics down in this one, guys, at all. Everything is pretty much pretty full. Okay, let's see how it sounds compared to the see how it sounds to the Porsche in Evo. Very smooth to drive, I have to say. Graphics very, very smooth. Frame rate is excellent. Steering is fluid. Beautiful to drive. Got to go very slow. The tyres are cold, but I need to turn the HUD off. I don't need that big gauge on the right hand side there. I need to turn that off. The cab is bouncing around over all the bumps, the suspension. Wow, nearly missed that. Terrible driving here, guys. That's one thing I noticed with the original Assetto Corsa when I looked at it the other day. It was like you were riding on rails. The cockpit was not bouncing around over all the bumps. It was completely flat and smooth, like you were driving on smooth ice. And that's the thing that I noticed straight away when I went back to the old Assetto Corsa. Maybe there's some DLCs and updates that changed all that. But the original now, as it is original, is just rather outdated in that respect. You just get into these cars and they bounce around over the bumps and all sorts of things. So the original Assetto Corsa, as it is out of the box, is probably out of the question for me. I don't like adding on all the DLCs. I like to drive the simulator as it comes out of the box. But this is very, very smooth. The sounds are good, pretty much on a par with Evo. If you were going to find any differences in the sound, I think you'd be very, very picky, and neither of them are going to sound like you're sitting in a real Porsche anyway, trust me. So don't get too carried away with the sound, guys. If you want 100% realistic sound, go and get a real Porsche and drive that. Very bad driving here. Okay, I could just keep going in this, guys. I could do another few laps. This feels really nice, very smooth. Flick through that button. I've got all my HUD options. There we go, all the HUDs off there. There we go. That looks better with the less information floating around on the HUD. Everything I need is on the dash and the steering wheel gap there. All the information I need is there. I do not need the big things, the big HUDs up on the display. Just makes it look like an arcade game. So get rid of all that, guys. Get rid of all the maps, get rid of all the radar, get rid of all the stuff. Otherwise it looks like you're sitting in an arcade game. If you want realism, get rid of all that. And you've got your mirror. Just look around the car, look at your mirrors, see where the other cars are, just like real racing, okay? Don't need the radar. But this is very smooth. I'm enjoying this very much. Okay, we'll go round to the start finish. And I'll tell you what I don't like about it. There's a plane taking off up there. Must be an airport nearby. That's pretty cool. Right, let's have a look at the replay mode in this one. It's pretty important to me because I make content. I like to have the outside view sometimes to show everybody the real estate. Otherwise you're just sitting in the car for the whole video. It can get pretty boring. So if you're making content, guys, for goodness sake, get outside the car sometimes, show people the real estate, show them the views, show them the outside, around the track, the scenery. People like to see that. Cycle through some of the views. Again, the car looks just beautiful. Doesn't seem to have the same highlighted glossy sort of finish like the Evo Porsche, but not all racing cars have that shiny mirror glossy look. It can be overdone actually. Sometimes it can have too much gloss. Okay, on board. Okay guys, yeah, what don't I like about it? Well, I quite like the idea of being able to I like the idea of being able to customize the car, to change the color to match your team colors. I really like that. Although you've got a lot of cars here and a lot of tracks, it's beautiful to drive, it looks nice, it feels great. You got all the choices there, the for the single player, the practice mode, the time trial, the championship. It's all there, but I just like the fact that you can customize the car and the color to match your team colors if you want to create your own team. Automobilista 2, very, very impressed, but it is missing that one feature that I really, really like. Okay guys, it's time to look at our next one. I think we're going to look at Assetto Corsa Competizione, see what those Porsches look like, what do they drive like, how do they feel, have a look at some of the features. Let's go. Okay guys, here we are in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and let's see what options we have available to us as a single player. I don't go for the multiplayer online, just the single player. So let's see what it has to offer me. Assetto Corsa Competizione. We've got championship mode, new season or resume an old championship, new season, confirm. There we go. We've got opponent skill, opponent count, opponent car. So have a look at the main menu again and see what else we've got here. So that's the career mode, which I think is quite good actually. Single player mode, practice, special events, multiplayer. Single player mode. Okay, now in single player mode, we can start a session. A practice circuit in the car. We can do a single race as well. Game mode. Here we are, game mode. We can have practice, hot lap, super pole, or a hot stint, or a quick race. So that's all in the single mode, race mode. So you got practices, hot laps, or you can do a quick race. Okay, so that's good. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Team. This is where it gets really interesting, because you can go to the team or the car that you want. Here's all the brands and the makes. Pick out the car you want. As you can see, I've picked out the Porsche. And once you've picked it out, you can actually color it. You can customize your colors and the livery. If you want to drive for McLaren, or you want to set your team up as a McLaren team, go for the orange and black and color it. Go to town and make it your colors and your team. Give your team a name. KVM Porsche Racing. And just add your own color. I'll put Liam Lawson as one of my team drivers there. Customize. Edit. And here we are. Here's all your colors here. Base layer, glossy or flat. Here's your colors. Look at the colors you got to choose from, guys. Now this is unbelievable. This is a very, very powerful tool. Coloring your car. Yeah, any color you choose, it will go to your car. You can see how it looks. And you can just do it. Orange. Any color you want. Every color in the rainbow is there, guys. Yeah, anyway, there we go. I've got my original color there. But you get the idea, guys. You can play around with it, color the mirrors, color your stripe, change the colors of your wheels, and it is just powerful. But that Porsche looks absolutely, it looks like I could open the door, get in and drive away. It looks so real. Very, very real. It looks brilliant. Okay, so come in here. You can edit the names of all your drivers. And you can edit their clothes. Here is all the colors. You can color all their suits and their helmets and everything. And you can confirm that and go back. Any color of the rainbow, you can color your racing gear. So let's pick a track to practice. Now the only thing I don't like is a lot of these tracks are locked. I think you have to go through certain achievements to unlock them. That, I think, is an old, out-of-date, old way of doing things. It's very, very arcadey. The real world is not like that. So I don't like that. Although I have got a reasonably good amount of tracks here you can race. But I don't like the fact you've got to achieve certain things to be able to drive on certain tracks. Having that kind of thing in a career mode or a game is just outdated and unrealistic. It's a bit like some career modes. They give you a little wee old bubble car, a little shit box to drive, and you can't get a Porsche or you can't get a better car until you've accomplished your missions in the little shit box car. It's just unrealistic, guys. If I've got enough money in the bank, I can buy a real racing Porsche tomorrow if I have enough money, get my racing license, and then go and race on the track. I don't need to buy a little Bambina or a Mini and qualify in that first. So having that kind of setup in your career mode, one, it's dumb, and two, it's just so unrealistic. It's just old-fashioned and arcadey. So I don't like the fact that you've got to unlock cars or unlock tracks. It's okay for an arcade game, but not for a realistic simulation game. So we're going to pick a track here, and just to see how that beautiful car actually drives. Let's go. Let's see how long it takes to load as well compared to the others. Oh my gosh, that was fast. I didn't even get to sip my whiskey. That was really fast. Okay, I'll turn my ugly dial off and let's drive. Now the cockpit looks very, very much the same as Automobilista as far as the Porsche cockpit, and also very close to Eva. So I could not separate them really as far as realism goes when it comes to the cockpit. But let's see how it sounds and let's see how it drives. I'd like to be able to turn that HUD information off. I don't know if I can. Let's see how this thing drives, shall we? Outside, the graphics look pretty awesome. Now we've got cold tyres, and I haven't practiced on this track much, so bit of a new circuit for us. Very smooth, I have to say. The steering is very fluid and smooth. Whoa, 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 whoa. I feel like it wants to kill me. Got to get used to this track. It is very nice to drive, guys, but very, very grunty. I can feel every ounce of horsepower under that bonnet. It's very responsive and twitchy. It sort of feels alive. Feels like it wants to kill me. Okay, let's have a look what the replay looks like. Here we go. I was going pretty slow on the first lap there. I do like the colours, the track colours. It's not too bright, it's not overwashed, it's just a little bit, you know, the colours are good. Some of the games, the colours are just too bright, just the contrast is not right. But this is quite good. Okay, let's go through some of the camera options here. Driving pretty slow like an old man going to the supermarket. There's the helicopter mode, and you can actually hear the engines of the helicopter. That is quite cool. The helicopter's following the car around the track. I like that. I like that. That looks very cool. And that looks really cool. Very, very good. Okay guys, I think that's it. The video's getting way too long. We may look at some other simulators as well on the next video. We'll see how we go. But I've got to make a decision. I've got to start making content, making videos, racing videos with my Porsche. I've got to get into my career, get into this hobby, but I'd like to settle down with one simulator. Which one do you like the most? Which one would you like to see more content on? And let me know in the comments which one you like, which one you drive, okay? Which one are you having the most fun with? I'll see you on the next video, guys. Keep safe, keep well, enjoy driving, enjoy your simulator. Over and out. Cheers.